I do. I would love a 300-gallon tank.
I like the little tan boy that does the flopple, flopple, flopple. I'm gonna touch him.
Touch him, touch him, touch him, touch him.
Oh god!
He
That's
didn't feel the way you thought he would, did he?
No! Wow, that was weird. That guy looks like a mushroom. I don't know what I expected, but that was...
I gotta breathe some snails. Are you ready for the spooky aquarium?
Yeah, but are you ready for feeding Jewel?
Yeah, you do whatever. Alright guys, this is the spooky aquarium right now, right? I have been planning this tank for Halloween for quite a while. You can see not really well because it's very, very green. These guys right here are my blind caves. I got some see-through cats in there, I got some spooky stuff, and unfortunately I have baby guppies breeding. Now guys, this tank is okay. It's spooky, it's creepy, you can't really see into it too well, but I have a bunch of spooky fish in there that I would like to make it so we can see them a lot better. You can see this tank right here is super clean, right? Now, we went to that pet store, you guys seen some of the stuff that we bought, you guys saw some of the stuff we looked at. I ended up picking up 25 pounds of gravel. We have the gravel in there. And let me show you guys the surprise that I said was coming.
I'm the surprise.
Our friend from work gave us a 55. No cracks, no seal issues, nothing. Completely fine, working 55-gallon aquarium. We are going to drain this out. We did a water test on it to see if there was any cracks or anything. Nothing. Absolutely perfect. We're going to drain this out now. We're going to get it up on the stand with that board on it just to keep it safe and sturdy. And then we are going to go ahead and fill it with the black gravel. A couple of skulls in the middle. We got the small filter that came with the 10-gallon that we have. And I'll show you what we bought the other night. We have this big Marineland, I think it's like a 75-gallon filter. It's huge. Filters up to 75 gallons, yeah. So this thing's going to be perfect with the other filter working as well. It's going to be plenty. Now we don't have a light or a top for it yet. But that'll be okay. We can get one of them later. She said the lady that gave it to us might actually have one. So we'll take a look. But yeah, Bree's going to help me out before she goes to work. And then I'll do a little bit of work maybe while she's gone if I need to. But we are going to go ahead and get this tank up and running. I've been dreaming of a 55-gallon tank since probably for the last like 6 or 7 years. We're finally going to make it happen, and it's so amazing. Bree let me do it in the spooky theme with the spooky gravel and the spooky fish. Ain't that right? Alright guys, let's go ahead and get to it. Alright guys, so I added in the gravel that I bought, and it was enough for a tiny little layer across the whole bottom, which is perfect because I am going to use the gravel in the 10-gallon to make some hills and some valleys, and then I'm going to have maybe a skull here and a skull here and some plants in the middle. So we're looking good. I'm going to have a filter on that end, filter on this end. I'm going pretty decent as of right now. We're having some trouble focusing. Alright guys, so I don't know if you can tell, I'm about maybe a quarter to a third of the way in, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm low-key really nervous, just because the floors are uneven. There's a tiny bit of wiggle in the stand. I'm thinking later I might have Bree help me put something under the stand just to wedge it backward a little bit. It's not bad, it's not like woo, 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 but it's just a little nerve-wracking, to be honest, with that much water. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep seeing what happens, guys. I'm hoping for the best here. Alright guys, so sometimes I get a little paranoid and a little worried when it comes to things like fish and aquariums. So I had to do the math to actually to calm myself down. I was like so nervous, I was like, I'm gonna throw up. So I had to calm myself down. I had to go figure out what the math behind it was. And this 55 gallon, when it's fully filled with all of the water and the tank, is gonna be 625 pounds, okay? I had to look what the breaking point was for a 2x4 column. A column has a breaking point of 625 pounds for or 636 pounds for a 2x4. That means with this 6 2x4s right here, this stand should be able to hold 655 gallons. So I feel a lot safer now. The screws I know are fine. I used some solid deck screws that were like 600 pounds breaking point each, and I got two, and then down there it doesn't really matter as much, but I think we're good to go, guys. I think we could put 5 more 55s, stack them upright, and we should be good to go. I'm gonna keep filling. I might just throw up a little bit, but I'm gonna keep going, guys. Alright guys, so we got some really good news. I got really nervous at first because when we went to go set up the filter, it didn't want to pump the actual water. It just made this cranking noise, and I found out why. If you can see that little notch in there, this right here controls the flow. If you put it all the way up, you can see it kind of, well, not really. It's supposed to slow it down a bit, but it doesn't really work. If you do not have water all the way up to that level, it will not suck in air properly. But you can see now it is working, the filter is going. We have the tank almost completely full. I have not heard a single creak, crack, moan, anything from this stand here. Guys, we are in business. The next thing I need to do is decorate it a little bit, and then we're gonna take some of those fish, we're gonna put them in buckets with some of their water, and we're gonna acclimate them to the new tank. And then we're gonna start adding them in tonight. Alright guys, we're looking good, feeling good. Alright guys, this thing's been running for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, with all of the dechlorinator and chemical softener in there. It's looking pretty clear. Figures. Really got to turn on while I'm talking. Alright, so the next thing I got to do now is going to be kind of stressful, so I'm not going to be filming a ton of it. I have to drain half a bucket into this one and half a bucket into this one. I'm then going to put half the fish in one bucket, half the fish in the other bucket, and treat them by adding cups of water into the bucket every 30 minutes or so. Alright, so that's going to be pretty stressful, pretty nerve-wracking. I always hate doing that. I hate transferring fish from one tank to another just because how much it stresses me out and makes me worry about the fish. So I'm not going to be filming a lot of that. I'm going to go ahead and fill them up, get them sat over there, and once they're over there sat and ready, then we'll come back, we'll take all the gravel out, put it over in that tank, put some of the rocks around, put some of the skulls around, and maybe plant the tank. So I'll be back in a little bit, guys, once I get some more progress done. Alright guys, in these two dark, terrifying buckets, I have what I think is all my fish. There might be some guppies left in there. I know there's some snails. I already threw a ton of the snails in here. You can see them all kind of like around the house. It's terrifying. I'm gonna wash all this glass down with my scrubber, so it's gonna look a lot better in a minute, but for the meantime, oh, I still see one freaking little guppy in there. Oh my god, there's like 2 of them. Oh my god, so there's like way more than I thought I had. See him in there? Wow. So I'm just gonna have to comb through here with the net and try to see if I can get any more of them. But that's outrageous, man. There's just so many of them in there, the guppies. They just bred like crazy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and clean some of this down, try to get as many snails as I can. I'm probably gonna put a bucket of their water in there just to help get it acclimated, but I guess that'll be good. It'll help me get any extra guppies that might still be hiding in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll check back in with you guys. Alright guys, so sorry, I had to take a bit of a break from the video because I was just like, I was so focused on making the video that I was starting to make mistakes, like things that I wouldn't normally do. Like I almost dropped the fish. I spilled like half a gallon of water. I almost ran water back into my pump, which would have just completely shorted it out. I just wasn't paying attention enough to what I was doing, and I was screwing up a little bit. So I took a break. I kind of calmed down. I said, all right, you know what you're doing. Just, you know, refocus. But we got a lot of stuff done. A fish accidentally ended up in the aquarium. Now I added a tiny bit of the water from the aquarium into this aquarium, and it just completely turned it green. So no more water from that tank into this one. Hopefully this will clear up with the amount of filtration we got on it. But let's go ahead and take a look what we got running, how we're doing, because it's looking pretty amazing so far, guys. Alright, so you can see automatically it's already turned kind of green. Now we got a temporary light with the 10-gallon light just kind of sitting up here until we can get better lighting for the tank. I've put in both of my bubble strips that I just kind of had laying around. They're both running on one pump, which isn't really enough. You can see this one down here isn't getting the full bar filled up. So later on we are going to have to get either another pump or a smaller pump or a bigger pump, I meant to say. But pretty much so far we got all the plants that are alive. I know it's kind of hard to see in there, but you can see it a little bit. Some things like these plant leaves and stuff are still going to have to be, you know, thrown out, but we're doing okay, guys. We're getting there. Things are looking okay so far. I still got to get these guys acclimated, but we're doing okay. The Halloween, the spooky tank is coming alive. We're definitely going to need more skulls, more decorations, more plants after in these corners, but I got the little filter, I got the big filter running. We should be going pretty good. I'm going to start acclimating these guys. We'll be back once we're ready to start putting some of them in, okay? Alright guys, so we have a temporary lighting fix. I had that 10-gallon that I split apart to repair the side of this tank here. Right there, you can see it. What I went ahead and did was put that up on the top here, and then I just put the light above it. I just basically, you see, I don't know if you can see it, maybe you can. You see that little bit of splashing coming up here? It's hitting this panel right here. If it wasn't, it'd be hitting this bulb. So I don't want that. I want it to hit this panel instead. I want to keep that bulb nice and safe. I mean, once we add the water up a little bit, I don't think it'll be as big of a problem. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to put some fish in because I'm worried about them being in this water for too long. So let's go ahead and get the stand on and see if we can put some fish in here today, guys. Alright guys, we're looking decent. What I'm going to go ahead and do is put these guys in first. These are the snails that we bought last night at that pet store. We're going to go ahead and just dump them in. Their water looks pretty freaking great. I have no problems putting that in my tank. Hopefully they do okay in there. I'm not too familiar with these type of snails. I'm hoping they'll be okay. I think they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. Let's see if we can get some of these fish in here, guys. Alright, I already got one here. I got one of my blind... Oh, I got two. 2 in 1, guys. I got the blind cave fish. And... oh, these stuff. I got the black neon in there. Okay. So let's talk about the stocking while we are trying to catch some fish. You guys know I wanted to go with as much spooky as I could. I just got one of the glass cats in there. I went with a oddball variety. So the first thing that I have, you guys keep hearing me talk about, the blind fish. I have some blind cave tetras in here. I don't know too much about them other than I think they're from South America. They have no eyeballs. I believe they were bred and raised, or they were found in caves, so they didn't need any eyes anyway, so they just kind of evolved without them. I have 2 of them in here. And then I have the see-through cats. They are a pretty cool looking catfish. I have no idea where they're from, what type of variety they are, but I'm just going to go ahead and put some pictures and videos up, a little bit of information about them. So that's what I went with. I have 3 of them in there. I have 2 of the blind caves, and then I have a white skirt tetra just because I thought they looked pretty pretty cool. I thought they would contrast against the black gravel. I also have the feeder guppies, which I put in with the goldfish originally to try to give them some extra nutrition. They didn't like them, they didn't want to eat them, so they ended up being raised and grew in here, so there's not too much I can do about it at this point. As for the bottom feeders, we have a crap ton of plant snails, which we wanted to have, and they just decided to keep on breeding, so those were those snails that you've seen in there. These are these little guys right here. The 3 new snails that we got last night are apple snails. That's what they had them listed as. I ended up getting 3 kind of blackish purple colors because I think that would work best with the spooky theme here. Let me see if I can try to get the rest of them glass cats out here so that way they have something to spool with in there. They're looking pretty good so far, guys. Oh, I have 2 glass cats in there. I didn't even know how I caught the other one. All right. Alright guys, so I just tried to get the guppies. I accidentally got the algae eater. You can see him in there, see how big he is. Let's go ahead and get him in there. It was way easier than I thought it was going to be because them guys are a pain to move. They jump, they flop, they're strong, they're aggressive. I hate moving them things. I used to have like 6 of them back home and they gave me trouble every time I ever got them. I guess that's it. Everybody's in there. I'm going to go ahead and take my algae brush and just kind of scrub down this front panel here, try to get some algae off. And then I think I might just leave the camera on for a little while, give you guys a little bit of a time lapse. But that's about it. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us on day 6 of the 7-day SpoopTacular. This is one of the things, guys, if I didn't make this video, I don't know if you guys would have ever known my passion for fish or how passionate I am about fish, but I absolutely love these guys. So much that I'd be willing to take a 55-gallon tank and throw a total of maybe 7 fish in there to see how big they'll get. So that's it. Thank you guys so much. I have been Hippie. I'll see you guys